Yo, what's going on? What's going on? All right, you know what time it is. You know what rhyme it is. You are tuned in to A6, the Foreign National Born Natural. How's everybody feeling tonight? It is a pretty chill weekend for me. Didn't do too much. Got a chance to spend time with the fam as usual. That's always a good thing. Very minimal movements in terms of jumping around, all that good stuff. Um, how was your weekend, man? As you can see, I'm over here getting a bunch of stuff moved around. I just got another notebook. So I'm trying to get organized. You know, I've been meaning to get some more notebooks so I can have things put in different places and have them all in order instead of having to dig through the same notebook for like 20 minutes trying to find something, which happened last week. It's like, yo, it's a pain in the ass when you know everything's there, but you gotta find out what the hell it is, if that makes sense. Like you know what the area is in, but you just gotta move shit around to find it. That could be annoying if you're trying to find something fast or quick. But you know, when you got a whole bunch of documents and stuff like that, like stuff we do, that can happen if you're not organized. So, let me see here. My man Tony Cooper, what's up with you, man? My man Tony Cooper, he was dropping some good information on the last live. Deep information, man. We'll probably have him get back on the live if he wants to call in today and elaborate more on what he was talking about. Crypto Chris. Yes, sir. Free world. Yes, sir. You know how we like to do it. Crypto, Chris. Speaking of crypto, man, how y'all feeling about that crypto situation, man? All this crypto stuff going on. How y'all feeling about it? Y'all think that's going to replace the dollar effectively? I mean, they got to come up with something. You know, the dollar's supposed to be taken away a while ago. So how y'all think they're going to swing it, man? You think they're going to phase out the dollar? I know I heard about when the whole COVID-19 thing started happening, all the pieces were falling into place because I remember they were saying that there was like places were slowly stop not taking change anymore or something like that. Like you literally had to have exact change if you wanted to pay with cash, or you had to use a card, which effectively would remove any kind of physical um, dollars or fiat currency. It would pretty much remove that. So yeah, a man says, "Hold it, dollar is doomed." Oh yeah, the dollar's been doomed for a minute now. We already knew that. I mean, we pretty much knew the dollar was doomed. Exactly. That's why the issue of them, what they're gonna put in place of it, it's just a question of which one's gonna be the one. I mean, you're gonna have a gold type currency, a gold type coin, which is gonna be in a level of gold. You're gonna have a platinum type. You're gonna have a silver type. Just those precious metals. It's gonna be levels to the crypto. So it's just a question of which ones are going to be which. But I say, man, if you got some of it, man, definitely keep adding and hold on to it or whatever. However you want to play it, man. I was telling my dude, like, yo, even if you want to throw shit, if you got $20, if all you got is $20 extra a week, throw that joint in there and just sit on it. Do that for a year and just sit on it, man. And when it rolls back over, you'll be collecting, That's the business right there. So, move around like that. I was talking to one of my followers earlier, and he was talking about the citrine crystal, and I was telling him because I rock the crystals and stuff like that. I get into these, so he was asking me about the citrine. So I told him, man, listen, the citrine crystal, bro, CITRINE. That crystal is dope. I put it right in the comment section in case you want to look it up. If you into this type of stuff, you can do your own research. If not, don't worry about it, of course. But it's called citrine. I'll put it right here. Citrine crystal. And it's got a lot of capabilities. As a matter of fact, you know what? I got a little dictionary here. Let me read to you what it does so y'all can be on the same page. Hold on. All right, check this out. All right, so look, if you're not into crystals, at least expand your knowledge and start looking into them because there is some truth to this stuff. And people think all this shit is bullshit, blah, 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 such and such, such and such. Hey, you got to open your mind with a lot of this stuff, man. It's just like when we tell people about the right to travel and stuff like that, and they ain't trying to hear it. You got to open that mind up because there's a lot of things you can't physically see that are in play. And I would have to say this has to be one of them. So look, boom. I don't know if y'all can see this very well, but that's citrine crystal. All right. That's kind of what it looks like. So I'm gonna read off to the attributes of what it does. It's got a lot of different attributes. So I'm just gonna read off from the top. First, let's start with the color. The color is yellow to yellowish brown or smoky gray brown. The appearance, transparent crystals, all sizes, often as geo, point or cluster. Natural citrine is comparatively rare. Heart treated amethyst is often sold as citrine. So you can get over when you say you gotta watch out for that. The source is Brazil, Russia, France, Madagascar, Britain, and the United States. So that stuff is found in those places mainly. So if you want to get yourself a piece, you probably check out one of those spots right there to try to up your chances of getting something legitimate. Now, I got the citrine right here. As you can see, like it's like the light kind of like a yellowish pearl clear. The one next to the black one right there. That's the citrine. So that's what it looks like. All right, so check it. The attributes. Citrine is a powerful cleanser and regenerator. Carrying the power of the sun, this is an exceedingly beneficial stone. It is warming, energizing, and highly creative. This is one of the crystals that never needs cleansing. It absorbs, transmutes, dissipates, and grounds negative energy and is therefore extremely protective for the environment. Citrine energizes every level of life. As an aura protector, it acts as an early warning system so that action can be taken to protect oneself. That I honestly, that's actually fact, though. It has the ability to cleanse the chakras, especially the solar plexus and navel chakras. It activates the crown chakra and opens the intuition. Citrine cleanses and balances the subtle bodies, aligning them with the physical. All right. Citrine is one of the stones of abundance. This dynamic stone teaches how to manifest and attracts wealth and prosperity, success, and all good things. Citrine is a happy, generous stone and encourages sharing what you have, and yet helps you to hold on to your wealth. That's true too. It has the power to impart joy to all who behold it. Gloom and negativity have no place around citrine. It is a useful stone for smoothing group or family discord. All right, and it goes into a whole bunch too, man. If this thing goes into psychological effects that citrine can have on you, um, we'll touch on that a little bit in case y'all want to know. Psychologically, citrine raises self-esteem and self-confidence and removes destructive tendencies. It enhances individuality, improves motivation, activates creativity, and encourages self expression. All right, so that's just a few things for that. And then mentally, citrine, this is talking about what it does mentally. Mentally, citrine enhances concentration and revitalizes the mind. It is excellent for overcoming depression, fears, and phobias. There you go. Physically, let's go to physically, just one aspect of that. Physically, citrine imparts energy and invigoration to the physical body. It is useful for people who are particularly sensitive to environmental and other outside influences. There you go. Like allergies and shit like that. All right, so healing. Healing. Citrine is an excellent stone for energizing and recharging. It is highly beneficial for CFS. Not sure what CFS means. And reverses degenerative diseases. Citrine stimulates digestion, the spleen, and the pancreas. It negates infections in the kidney and the bladder, helps eye problems, increases blood circulation, detoxifies the blood, activates the thymus, and balances the thyroid. Sheesh, that's a powerful ass stone, man. So, like, hey, I'm gonna say this, bro. It says right here, position wearing your fingers or throat or contact with the skin. Wearing a citrine point down brings the golden ray of spirit into the physical realm. So I don't have the pointed one. If you ever seen like a crystal with like it's like kind of like an arrow, if you would, and the arrow points towards the ground. That's like it's basically telling you to wear it like that, pretty much, and it'll give you the golden ray of spirit in the physical realm. I don't have that yet. I might get one later. Not sure. But that's something to think about right there. So the citrine is the crystal that I've been asked about a few times. I talked about moldavite. I think it was a couple months back. People were asking me about moldavite. I had some people saying the moldavite was changing their environment, And then some people were saying, I had one guy say the moldavite wasn't his thing. It was another crystal that it's like the opposite of moldavite or something like that. But it depends on your spirit or what have you, how it affects you. So, I mean, it depends on who you are. So there you have it. So I mean, when you get a chance, man, pick this bad boy up right here, man. We've been doing some research with this thing pretty heavy. So this joint is it's a lot of stuff in it. You know, you probably buy the book for like $50 on Amazon. Y'all got any questions? I'll be glad to read y'all something. If y'all wanted me to look up a crystal right here, we can do that. Slide the name in the comment section, and I'll read it out, see if I can find it in there. And yeah, they got a bunch of stuff in there, man. They easily have over like 700 different crystals in that bad boy, and it's more than that in existence, man. Stones and crystals. Like I don't know if y'all ever heard of the sky stone, which is very interesting. Interesting thing about the sky stone, it is an all natural stone, but it's actually the oxygen level of the stone is 7.77%, and it's said to have fallen from the heavens above. And they were saying that the stone is actually called the sky stone because the type of blue the stone is, it's like a clearish blue. There's never been a stone like a clearish blue stone, they said. The only one in existence is that. They're saying it fell from the firmament. So a lot of the flat earthers and stuff like that believe that it fell from the firmament. So possible. I mean, shit, at this point, I believe any goddamn thing that makes sense. So yeah, there you have it. But the sky stone's not in that book though, because it's too rare. I think they said it's priceless. Like you really can't buy it. Like I think the government took the goddamn thing from somebody or something like that, and they were researching it themselves. You know, when the government takes some shit from you, that shit priceless. So, what's up, Kevin? How you feeling, man? I ain't mean to ignore you on that. Just over here on a tangent. Where do you find those type of crystals? All right, so look, boom. I found the joint I got is off of Amazon. You can find good crystals online. You just gotta be careful who you buy from. Let me see. I had a ticket over here from the place I bought this from. Hold on. You gotta be careful who you buy them from. Here it is, right here. Interesting name for this place too. Hold up. God damn, if I can get the damn ticket up. All right, yeah. Here we go. All right, so look, boom. So the place is called Healing Trust. Yep. They got them on Amazon. You can get them on eBay, all kinds of stuff like that, man. You just got to be careful who you buy from. Again, don't buy shit from China. Nothing against China, yo, but yo, China's out to get paid, bruh. And they'll sling anything to you, real or fake, to get paid. You know, China's notorious for bootlegging, and a lot of their bootlegs, a lot of their knockoffs, good quality. But see, the problem with knockoff stones are, if it ain't the real stone, you're not gonna get the effect. So you can't really bootleg a stone, but they'll try to sell it to you. So you gotta be careful who you buy from. Also had a guy ask me about a venturine too. I do have a venturine on this bracelet as well. Basically says stone of lucky opportunity. This is just a little small description they put on here. Stone of lucky opportunity, high winning energy, boost to your chances, embrace new challenges and growth in life. I've got Pyrite, Stone of Good Luck and Prosperity, shield you from negative energies, promotes great health, and then Citrine we already talked about. So let's jump in here and see. And like they also have the interesting thing about this book right here. Again, if I haven't told you already, if you have a ailment or issue with your body, you can actually look in this book with that ailment, and you can actually find the stone that'll help you with it. Interesting. So we'll get to that in a minute, but first I'm going to read you the adventuring real quick. I'll read you what that says. And if you got your notes in front of you, man, take a couple notes down and look into this stuff, man. Don't just dismiss it as some bullshit, because you'd be surprised, man. You open your mind a little bit, you might be able to come out of your move forward or advance or absorb new technology. Or it might even take you to a completely different direction. So I mean, don't just dismiss it as bullshit, because you gotta remember, before all this stuff happened for real, all this stuff was being used, crystals were being called ancient technology. And it was said that crystals were actually put in certain places where light hit them to achieve different effects. And they were being used as, basically technology back then. Ancient technology. Some people even go as far as to say aliens used to use crystals as energy and power and stuff like that. There was a guy who had I probably told you this story too before, but there was a guy who he figured out a way to. I'm trying to remember how the hell this story went. I think he somehow he figured out a way to amplify energy through a crystal, and They said he told like 13 people, and within like 5 hours, the government came and took all his shit, took all his research equipment, took all his papers, all his pens, smashed the machines, and took everything from you. And it was like, nah, bruh. Bruh. I don't think so. You go ahead and pay this light bill. Go ahead and pay this BG&E, bro. Stop with them crystals, man. Yo, what up, Consult? How you feeling, man? How you feeling? We over here discussing crystals for right now. So, all right. So back to what I was saying. Adventurine. Let me find a page real quick. Adventurine. It's a very interesting name, but it pretty much, the name promotes what it actually does. That's on page 73. Here it is. But yeah, the name actually promotes what it does. And some of these crystals actually come in some of these crystals actually come in different colors. Like it may like be in one color and one shape, but then you might find the same crystal in another, and it's not necessarily a bootleg. It's just a different formation somehow. All right, so the aventurine, the one I'm looking at, it's like got a bluish color, and it says it's green, blue, red, brown, peach. Those are the colors it can come in. And then the appearance is opaque, speckled with shiny particles, all sizes, often tumbled. The rarity is pretty common, so you can get that pretty easy. And then the source is going to be Italy, Brazil, China, India, Russia, Tibet, Nepal, all those ancient places, pretty much. The attributes: aventurine is a very positive stone of prosperity. It has a strong connection to the Devic kingdom. Gotta look that up too. And is used to grid gardens or houses against geopathic stress. Wearing aventurine absorbs electromagnetic smog and protects against environmental pollution. Taped to a cell phone, it acts as a protection against its emanations. The crystal diffuses negative situations and turns them around. Psychologically, aventurine reinforces leadership qualities and decisiveness. It promotes compassion and empathy and encourages perseverance. It takes you back into the past to find sources of dis-ease. Very interesting way they put that down. Dis-ease, disease, that type thing. This stone relieves stammers and severe neurosis, bringing understanding of what lies behind the conditions. Aventurine stabilizes one's state of mind, stimulates perception, and enhances creativity. So if you're one of those people that's going through some kind of writer's block or something like that, you might actually benefit from that. So this is what I was talking about with the citrine. So it also comes in like a peach color too, and then you got it can be green aventurine, and then they got red aventurine too. And interesting enough, the different ones have different abilities. I ain't reading all of them. That's too many. But I can read some of the healing. Though aventurine benefits the thymus gland, connective tissue, and the nervous system. It balances blood pressure and stimulates the metabolism, lowering the cholesterol and preventing, Jesus Christ, arterial sclerosis. Okay, arterial sclerosis. Jeez, why can't I pronounce that? And heart attacks. It has an anti-inflammatory effect and helps ease skin eruptions and allergies, relieves migraine headaches, and soothes the eyes. Just a few things. So there you go. Yes, indeed, they do. Yes, they do. First time here. What's up, man? What's going on? Yeah, we just discussing crystals for right now. I had somebody asking me about crystals online, so I figured I would jump on here and put some information in here. So hold on, let me put that down so you can look that up if you are interested in it. That one is called Aventurine. So you grab it. It's like I said, you can jump right on like Amazon, eBay. The place I got mine from is called the Healing Trust. So they probably got a whole UCC one filed and all that stuff, and all the trust setup and all that. I mean, all this. To be honest with you, this whole path, man, is all this stuff's connected, man. Everything's connected with stuff like this. You start talking about, metaphysical science, and you start talking about, law. You start talking about awakening and all that. All that stuff's connected, man, because it's all attached to awakening. You know what I mean? It's all attached to perception, clear vision, all that stuff. So I mean, When you start talking about that, that's why oftentimes you'll have people that do stuff like that do a little bit of everything. Because that's why I know I've seen a few other YouTubers that do the same thing. I mean, they into the same stuff. Nationality, they'll be into knowing law, understanding how stuff works. Crypto, I mean, it's self sufficiency. Because at the end of the day, that's what we really want is to be self sufficient. All right. And the last one I'm gonna read off for you is pyrite, and then we can go into something else. I'll probably put the link in. You can drop in, make some conversations or questions or whatever. We can elaborate on that. All right. So pyrite. Let's jump on that real quick. They also got how to clean these stones in here too. Like some of them you can use salt for, and some of them you just use warm water, and then some of them you use the moon. It all depends on the stone. But not every stone could be cleaned the same way. You got to be careful how you clean some of them. All right. That's weird, yo. Pyrite is not in here. That's super weird actually. Wow. Okay. Pyrite's like the only stone besides the sky stone I found so far that's not in here. That's interesting. Oh well. Guess I ain't reading you all that. So anyway, moving on. I'm gonna go ahead and drop this link in here real fast, and y'all can hop in and we can discuss, chop it up. Let's do this. Yeah. So if you're new to the channel, what we basically talk about here, we talk about you know, rights. We talk about a little bit of law. We talk about uh, sometimes news. I mean, pretty much anything that's relevant to, being perceptive of what's actually happening around you. And that's what we'll go into. And we also throw around ideas too, um, and such stuff like that. So, just to update you guys, if you are doing this whole entire thing again, if you haven't caught my PSA last time, I'll say it again. Um, you might want to get yourself a little office. You might want to get yourself a little office. Get yourself like a table. You get yourself some stands or something like that. Get yourself a printer. You want to get yourself, of course, a laptop or some kind of computer. Some pens. My pens I recommend you get. At least have a blue, red, and then have a purple one. Have those three. I just copped a stapler. Y'all probably saw me putting that bad boy together before the broadcast started. But went and caught myself a little cheap stapler from the store, along with some staples. That way, when I print up my paperwork and stuff like that, I got to create another book for the traveling thing because I got 3 cars. So like I have documents in 2 of them, but I don't drive all of them around. So like when one's sitting, I'll take the documents out. But what I've been finding out lately, I've been forgetting to move my stuff around. So I'll leave my traveling documents in one car, and I'll just accidentally take the other one without switching the documents. So what I went and did was I got another binder so I can put my stuff in the other one. So if you got 3 cars or such, man, just go ahead. Don't be lazy. Get yourself another binder or folder or something like that, and just print your documents up and put them in there because you really ain't trying to be caught out there without your documents because shit can go a little bit left hand if you don't got because a lot like I told you, a lot of police officers don't know what the fuck they're doing. So if you don't have your documents to basically let them know this is what you're supposed to do, they ain't gonna listen to you because they've been trained not to fucking listen to you, and they zombies pretty much. So they do exactly what they told. They're like robots. So you got to put something in their face like the Foreign National Police Policy PDF. Excellent document to have. Print that bad boy out, throw it in your binder. Then you can print up your right to travel, your North Carolina letter, all that stuff we talk about every week. Put all that stuff in there and create for every car you got. Just put its own folder in there. And what I recommend doing, what I started doing, so I don't have to dig for shit. Because if you got a goddamn police officer being a dick, shining his light in your face, it's going to be hard to focus on what to pull out. So just make sure you have everything set aside beforehand. So what I do is I put my the PDF right in the little flip down what is it, a mirror, like that little flip down bad boy, man. Put that joint right in there, and then put the other document in there too with the North Carolina letter to the Department of State letter to North Carolina. Put all that in there, drop it in, let that be the business. So you have everything you need, and then get yourself a printer for your office and such. Definitely get a shredder too, because when these documents start coming that you don't want to keep around or whatever, you don't want to put them in the trash. You want to make sure that you shred them shits, because that'll turn into an issue later if somebody get a hold of your information, which they can do anyway. But yeah. It was a yeah. We talk about a little bit of law, Kevin. You know what we do around here, man. A little bit of, little something, something. We also go into codes and statutes too. So you know, my man. Yeah. See, I'm trying to avoid getting a new laptop because I got all my stuff on my laptop. I can't be transferring files over. That's sheesh, not trying to do that shit no time soon. I got a whole bunch of stuff on here. Right now, the system is not balanced. So many people are starting to travel. Police need to be educated more. Well, see, the thing about it is, here's what I would say about it. The more people that are actually traveling, I mean, the more updated they're going to have to get, because when they keep running into foreign nationals, it's going to become an issue where they got to train them. Like I told y'all last week. Or matter of fact, I just told y'all Thursday. I ran into a police officer from Baltimore City. He's on the Eastern District, I think. But he was saying that they just took a class on foreign nationals. So yes, the information is definitely catching on, and people are starting to figure out what's happening. And what they were told was, he said, what they were instructed to do with foreign nationals, they were instructed to not even bother with them, just let them go, because it's too much paperwork to do. They got to fill out the paperwork, they got to write letters back and forth to the embassy and such. It's just too much. And on top of the regular paperwork they already got to do in Baltimore City for all the bullshit they dealing with. And if you know anything about Baltimore City, you know how much crime it is. Yeah, that's just too much. So they said, man, it ain't worth it. That little piddly $70 ticket is just not worth the time. So it's a damn shame it's gotta be like that. But hey, it is what it is. We'll take a W any way we can get it. But as long as the police are getting educated on what's happening, at the end of the day, we winning. Because they should know your rights. And at the end of the day, it's fucked up, because a lot of these guys are taking oaths and shit. They don't even, motherfuckers don't even know. Motherfuckers haven't even read the Constitution, and they taking an oath to the Con. How the hell are you going to take an oath to some shit you've never even read? That's just stupid to me. Like, shit, it seemed like to me, if you're going to go and take an oath to something, or you should know beforehand what you're taking an oath to and study it. Like, you don't know what you're taking an oath. How you taking an oath to that shit for? Hey, what can I say, man? Yes, sir. Yeah, man. So if you can, what I usually suggest to people, if you can, try to take a hiatus on the weekend, man. Try to take a couple days off and relax. If you can't, that's a whole nother thing. You might want to do some other days, but you got to remember to take time to yourself, man, because you young guys. Let me tell y'all something, y'all put loyalty in with these jobs, and these jobs don't give a shit about you, yo. At the end of the day, you'll be worn out. You got 10 years in, your ass is worn out and tired. They don't give a fuck. Take that time for yourself, man, and try to move on and do your own thing and build your own shit, so you ain't got to work for somebody else. And at the end of the day, you can take in more money that way too. I mean, if you just working for somebody else, punching the clock and stuff like that, they don't give a damn about your ass. You can be replaced ASAP. And another thing I'm noticing too, a lot of dudes ain't even really trying to work for real. You know, a lot of dudes just comfortable with accepting the COVID relief fund, the money they getting and stuff like that. People just want to receive checks and shit. I mean, I've had a few people at the corresponding places I work with for my business, but they're saying, yo, we having trouble finding drivers. People don't want to work. People want to sit home and collect them checks. They paying more to be off and just be home chilling than they are paying for them to come to work. And the crazy thing is, the little jobs that people didn't think were significant, somebody got to work them, because at the end of the day, shit got to get moved around. And even if it's a job that pays, less than whatever, somebody got to take the jobs, because if not, shit slows up. People wondering why the mail taking so goddamn long. People wondering why packages ain't getting delivered fast enough. Mail is taking 3 times longer to get to the destination than it was before all this shit happened, yo. 3 times longer. I've ordered packages that have taken me 3 days to get. These days, if I order those bitches, it might take me a week and a half, 2 weeks. Like, it's crazy how this shit is working out, man. It's crazy. It's just crazy. So, like, at the end of the day, man, People are taking these subsidy checks and shit like that. No knocking people if they got to take them. If they agree to, accepting that shit, it is what it is. But yo, man, people and motherfuckers ain't trying to work for real. I mean, shit. You can say because people ain't paying them enough or whatever. And the fight for 15 thing is a farce, I believe, because people are fighting for $15 an hour, man. But yo, look what the fuck happened in California. You got people running from California right now. This is no knock to anybody to live in California, nothing like that. It's just the patterns don't lie. Like, yo, you had this fight for 15 thing, you had this control the rent thing, and the backfire always works against the people. That's how it works, man. You got people fleeing the damn country, not country, fleeing the damn state and city because of that, man. So I don't think that's the answer either. The answer, honestly, man, is the fucking dollar bill was built to collapse anyway. A man said the dollar bill is doomed. It absolutely is doomed. It was designed to collapse. The shit was never designed to do nothing but fucking collapse. It's built on the full faith and credit of the nation. It's not backed by any goddamn current actual thing of value like gold or silver or platinum or anything like that. The shit is built off of the full faith and credit of the nation. That means when you go in your job and you work and sweat your ass off, whatever you do, you lifting heavy ass boxes, whatever you doing when you working, you busting your ass 20 all day and you get off, go home, get a beer, get a shower, go to sleep, wake up to do it the next day. Your back hurting at the end of the week, 2 weeks or whatever, you get your check, and they whip your ass for that taxes. Take that shit right out of your check. And don't be a single man. They're gonna take more out of your ass than they would if you had a child or if you was, married or some shit. But hey man, they'll go ahead and take it out your ass on that shit. That's what backs it. Your ass backs it. That's what backs the US dollar. Your ass. How about that? Your blood, sweat, and tears is what backs the US dollar, the people. That's what backs that shit. And at the end of the day, that's what keeps it going. You do. The fact that you accept it and accept that it's worth something and take it. I mean, that's how the system's set up, man. And it's interesting when you think about it like that, yo. You got dumbass people that still think Fort Knox is full of gold and shit. Motherfucking Fort Knox hasn't had gold since the goddamn, what the hell was it? The Revolutionary War? Was it around then? Maybe it was after then. I don't know. But I know goddamn Britain took all the damn gold. That shit been gone, bro. That shit been gone for a minute. And the interesting thing about it, Britain owns the United States Corporation, and the Vatican owns Britain. How about that? How about that shit? How about that? The Vatican owns Britain. So you got goddamn Queen of England or whatever bowing to the Pope and shit. Taking orders from the Pope. I've heard so many different stories about courts and stuff like that, how they're tied directly in with Britain, but then how Britain is tied in with the Pope and all that stuff in the Vatican. I mean, in all these places, if you really look at like the all these places that are supposed to be the separate entities from their actual countries, like the Vatican's got its own money, it's got its own zip code, it's got its own goddamn monument, that giant pointy monument. It looks like the Washington Monument with the triangle at the top. And if you look at Britain also, I believe, I think it might, I gotta double check that to be sure. But there's actually one in I believe Britain or England or somewhere over there. There's one there too. And then there's one in Washington, D.C. And they were saying that the three focal points of control are religion, finance, which is the one that's in Britain, if I'm not mistaken, and then there's military, which is the one in Washington, D.C. So that would be the three main points of control. And if you really look at those three things, they are all correlated because, again, if you're talking about control, those are the three ways you control people. You control them with force, might, strength, weapons, and stuff like that. You control them with mind control. You know what I mean? You control them with religion and such. People fighting over religions and stuff like that to determine whose God is most supreme. And then you got finance, which is basically going to be Britain, because they're the root of how the gold is going out of the United States. People still believe, people out there that still believe that America won the Revolutionary War. I mean, people still believe that shit, yo. Them motherfuckers got smacked down, bro. They lost. They got their asses kicked. Yeah, I'll put this down in case anybody didn't see it yet. But yeah, they lost that war, man. America did not win that war. Those guys that came over here and tried to start their own colony, Britain came over here and beat the shit out of them. You can call it whatever you want to call it, but his story is his story, basically history. So, tell it like it is. And shit, man, everybody knows also, man, if you got a war situation or whatever, it ain't just about shooting guns, man. That shit is about finance too. So when them soldiers came over here with guns, not only did the soldiers come over, the bankers came too. When the bankers came over here, the bankers set up camp and they started to fund all that shit. When they started funding it, the soldiers left, the bankers were still here. So if you still got bankers here on the land controlling the funds, how the hell can you win a war? You got the foreign country over in your country controlling the money. That's a W all around. That's a W inside of, excuse me, that's a W for them, but that's a L for you inside out. Shit. Yeah, the bank is still over here, man. I mean, the whole banking system and all that shit pretty much came from the same place. So if we talking about who runs what, there's your answer right there. Big dog eat little dog. United States is the little dog. Britain is the big dog. Britain is the little dog. The Vatican is the big dog. You start to get there. People, I know for a minute I was like, yo, the Federal Reserve is the focal point of the issue. Federal Reserve is just basically it's just the wound pretty much. It ain't the reason why the wound is there. No. Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell. People say, who's the next president? Jerome Powell, the 16th chair of the Federal Reserve. That's your president right there. That dude's hey, hey man, the money. Again, follow the money. I think it was one of the Rothschilds or the Rockefellers that basically said, "Let me control the money of a nation, and I can give a damn who controls the laws or makes the laws." There you have it. I was doing some interesting reading. I was talking to a friend of mine too, and he was saying something very interesting about missiles. Actually, he was saying the Titanic didn't sink from an iceberg. That was a conspiracy that was put together, or whatever. That was a cover up or something. Not sure how true it is, but something to think about. He was saying it was torpedoes that actually hit that damn Titanic, and he was also saying that some of the bankers that were the top world bankers that weren't trying to get with the world program of like one world system banking, whatever like that, that were going against the grain. They were the ones who were actually all on that boat when it went down. And it's just there was so many like points. It's one of them situations where you got to have like, you got the pictures of people's faces up and you got the yarn attached and like how the guys do when they trying to put together who did what at a police station or some shit like that. It's one of them kind of things. So something else to think about. But yeah, they were saying that he was basically saying that Titanic didn't go down from the iceberg, man. That shit was torpedoes. Multiple accounts from people who were on it, they actually felt multiple thuds, and there was a few survivors. I think Molly Brown was one of them too. And then there was the girl who made the whole entire thing. Was the girl in the Titanic movie who got smashed in the car? She basically the whole story is about her being a hoe and shit. So nah, I'm messing around, but no, she did this whole story or whatever like that, and she rode the piece of a boat or whatever like that, and she ended up telling the story about how she met the guy who was played Leonardo DiCaprio or whatever. But yeah, they weren't just the only survivors. There were a few other survivors, man, quite a few. And eyewitness accounts basically said people felt multiple impacts on that boat. So hey, a lot of that history is questionable though, man. A lot of that history is questionable. A lot of that stuff was put there to get you to think a certain way. A lot of that stuff is put there to get you to believe or overlook something, and it's just not necessarily how it went. And nobody ever know what truly happened because nobody else was there. But hey, man, if you look at what we do know is a lot of that stuff has changed. So my question to you is, why would they have any incentive to tell you the truth if they change shit to fit their narrative? If they can just change it to get you to believe what they want to, what would be the sense of them telling you the truth? Especially when it's so easy to manipulate people. I mean, you can basically tell people anything you want to tell them. You tell people whatever, they'll believe it. You look at the whole mask situation. The Dr. Fauci emails just came out, I think a week and a half ago, and people quiet as fuck because I literally, dude, man, 2020 was rough for me, man, because I was always one of those people that was very interested in other people knowing the truth too, because I actually genuinely care about the people around me for real. So not even just like family members, man, like yo, friends and stuff, yo, people I train with and stuff like that. Like I actually generally care about those people. So I care about them knowing the truth and knowing, what's actually going on. So it was hard for me, man, because trying to explain to people stuff I read while the news was telling them the opposite, it was a no-win situation. That shit was tough. I mean, I felt myself really at a point where I didn't know what to do anymore. I shut down completely. I shut down for a second. I think I was shut down for like 2 weeks. I didn't want to talk to nobody. I was a hermit, man. It was messed up for me, man. So like that was pretty tough. But for me, I started to realize as I found out more and more people that I didn't know were into the truth too, and I started to really research how things happen in history. Everybody ain't built to be like knowledgeable, man, or ain't built to be like you know uh the informed or the enlightened or such. Everybody ain't really built to be like that, man. It's just not everybody's mind frame's the same. So if you have information like that, you basically just share it with those who want to know it. And it's so refreshing talking to people who want to know the information. It's great, man, because it makes you feel like you're not fucking crazy. Because everybody else is fucking crazy because they're not paying attention to what the hell is going on and what they actually can read themselves. And the thing that blows me away, we got these phones and we got disposed at our disposal with all this information, and like, yo, people ain't using these phones for the right shit. They using phones for like twerk videos and freestyle videos, which is cool. I mean, yeah, but like, don't have that being the main reason you're using the phone, man. You got to use that shit for something else too. You got all this knowledge at the disposal of your finger. The stuff I done learned from like 2020 to now, jeez, bruh. Just from using the phone, like, bruh, I've literally picked up probably about all right, so I think I've read about like 7 or 8 books on this stuff since 2020's happened, and I will say those books did they did have a lot of good stuff in them, but yo, majority of the stuff I learned was from the internet, man. The real talk, and I did get books again, but there's some good stuff on the internet, man. You just got to know what to look for and where to look at. So, in your office, again, if you haven't heard me say this before and you're new here, make sure you get yourself one of these. Black's Law Dictionary. I need to get a Bouvier's dictionary too, which is another dictionary that has a Supreme Court and federal courts definitions, that trickery and stuff like that they use. It's got that on there too. So make sure you get one of those and keep that in your office as well. And basically just grind and study, man, because the information you pick up and learn, the ones who are just waking up and waking up late and stuff like that, man, they're gonna want somewhere to turn to. And if you can either point them to the direction they can get the information, or if you can provide them with the information, either or is good, because the word is being spread. The truth is gonna get out. And the universe has to balance itself, man. It's going to balance itself. One thing you never have to worry about is the universe not balancing itself. Whatever this is, if this is a simulation, if this is, some cosmic power put together, or whatever you want to call it. One thing I've noticed, for everything to continuously work like it has been working, and for everything to continuously keep working the way it's supposed to, it has to be a balance. Like, yo, we got the seasons that go around, come around. Some of them, sometimes they might be a little rough around the edges, but they consistently come back around and go around and such. Sun goes up, sun goes down. Moon comes up, moon goes down, such and such, whatever. You get it. So there has to be a balance. And for everything to continually move, balance must occur. So if you have this heavy oppression from the fake side of reality, which is pretty much, the news, the media, all these other outlets, the radio, music, all these things that are heavily manipulated to get you to think a certain way, the truth is going to be coming out just as hard. The only difference is it's easier to find the fake shit because people are so used to being conditioned by it. But the real stuff like that is always going to be there, but it's coming out harder because more people are starting to figure out what's going on, you know? And that's a good thing, man. It's a great thing. What up, Yosef? What's up, man? Yo, I put the I don't know if you saw it, I'll drop it again in case you want to jump in, but I put the link to the room in case anybody wants to jump in. It doesn't matter what's true, it matters what people the world think is true. I don't agree with that. I mean, I think it does matter what's true because at the end of the day, um, truth can set you free. That's simple. So if we know we have rights that have been trampled on and we've been led away from knowing about these rights so we can continuously buy into a system that doesn't have our best interest at heart, I believe that it's a situation where knowing that can set us free of that system, knowing how to do so. Um, no, as far as you're talking about the fake side, absolutely. What people believe is true because it's so easily manipulate people, man. It's crazy. I was surprised how easy it is to get people to believe shit like this. Like it's stupid easy. All you gotta do is keep repeating the same thing over and over again and bombard their ass with like radio, actors and actresses, rappers telling them to do this and that and the third, news, this, that, and the third, breaking news, stories, people panicking and shit, people talking amongst each other. All that shit is like a spell, bro. And when people that buy into this stuff, they're pretty much hypnotized by it. That's all it is, man. Repetitive, constant bombardment with conditioning. That's what's basically happened. And it didn't work on everybody. And the people that didn't work on, there's something special about them, I would say. There's something special about those people. Because some people actually think logically. Why are you bombarding me with this? Why are you forcing me to do this? Why? People that ask why, they're the ones that you have trouble. Uh, they're the ones you're gonna have trouble with if you have like a agenda or something like that. The people that ask those simple three letters, WHY. So when people start to say that, they start to look at history, and if we know anything about history, man, we know that if we look at history, that's a good indicator of where you're going to be going. So, yeah. All right, man. Peace out, Kev. Get some rest, G. We'll holler at you, man. But yeah, so that's pretty much my 2 cents on it, man. And the reason oh my gosh, bro, Chris, that and it's sad because you know what I think, man. When they were saying 2020 was the Great Awakening, bro, and like people were gonna get powers, yo, it's starting to seem like to me that powers is common sense, the ability to think freely and not be hypnotized or fooled. That's what I'm starting to think, Chris. Like, yo, literally, bro. And I thought that was something everybody had. I thought common sense and rational being able to determine exactly what you believe about something without being told how to feel. I thought that was common, but it's not, yo. That shit is a superpower, yo. Motherfuckers running around. We the X-Men and shit, bro. We the Avengers. We got the ability to think, bro. That's crazy. And I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Like, I think it's diet too, man. Like, I stopped years ago. I stopped doing. I think about 5 years ago, I stopped using fluoride toothpaste completely. That helped a lot because that fluoride is like motherfucker, bro. You start to really look at some of the goddamn research on that they don't put out, bro. That shit ain't no brainer. That's no bueno, man, at all. So I stopped rocking with the fluoride, man. I felt myself thinking a lot clearer when I did that too. Able to put more what if situations. I was able to my intuition got a little sharper too. And that helped me a lot. I switched over to what the hell's that stuff called? It was called black charcoal toothpaste. It got real popular in Japan first, and I always wanted to try it because I'm weird like that. I like to try new shit. So it was like a minty flavored Japan toothpaste. So I got that first, and I was like, "Yo, this stuff is fresh. It tastes better. It don't linger in your mouth and leave that nasty aftertaste. I don't know. It just tasted healthy or whatever, without the fluoride and everything." So I was brushing my teeth with that joint for a minute, and then it started to stain the sink though, so like I had to switch it. But there's another brand that's actually a charcoal toothpaste too that don't stain the sink and it doesn't have fluoride, so I switched over to that. But I started to use that joint though, man, and it was great. Oh, like, you know. And I tried to convince people to stop using fluoride toothpaste, but they was like, "No, I want fluoride." Like people literally told me that shit. They was like, "No, I want fluoride. I want fluoride. I don't want that other shit. I want fluoride because it cleans the teeth." And I told them, "Yo, there's never been actually any documentation of any research that shows that fluoride cleans your teeth. So why are you still putting it in your toothpaste? I don't care. I've been using fluoride all this time, and my teeth are clean, so I want fluoride." Okay, fluoride it is. It is what it is. But it is. You can't tell people but so much, man. My man Jules, what up? I haven't seen you in weeks, man. Hit me up, yo. Jump in. You should react to biochemistry debunks coronavirus by Space Buster. Oh yeah, okay. Let me check that out. Hold on. That might have to be a video we do this week. All right. All right, let's see what you're talking about, man. What's the name? Space Buster? Not seeing it here. I'm gonna have to hunt that. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Here it is right here. Oh, that's a 49. Yeah, we're gonna do that. All right, so look, boom. Yeah, that's good looking out on that. I'm a I'm gonna probably do that next week since you requested it. We'll do that now. I'm not gonna do it tonight though. I might only be on for like another 10, 15 minutes, honestly. I feel like I got a lot of shit off today. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, that's a big one, yo. Like the drinking water, man. And here's what bothered me. Let me tell you something about that drinking water, yo. And if you live in a city or something like that, um, like with a lot of historic buildings, be very careful. And I'm gonna tell you why. All right, so you remember what happened in Flint, Michigan, not too long ago with that drinking water, right? When they had the whole entire town was basically a pretty much a contaminated zone, and they pretty much tried to quarantine people in, and all those politicians got away with some bullshit. It got me thinking, yo, a lot of these other cities are older than that city or just as old, and them pipes might be in the same condition, but they just ain't saying shit because that stuff happened in Flint, and they got away with that shit for years before they got caught. So I'm thinking in my head, yo, how many other people are taking paychecks but are not getting put on Front Street with that shit? How many other cities have the same problem, but ain't nobody saying nothing because they don't want it to be a big situation and don't nobody want to fall on the sword? How many other cities like that? And if you think the government don't work like that, this ain't the channel for you. You might want to bounce because yo, I swear to you, bro, it's quite a few of them bad boys that haven't hit the mainstream media yet. So at that point, I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and get myself one of them alkaline water filters for real to pull all the garbage and negativity out of the water, you know, fluoride, all that and such. Get alkalinized up, man, and let that be the business. But yeah, yo, that drinking water is crazy, yo. Just imagine how old some of them pipes are, and some of them pipes so old, bro. You would literally have to tear up buildings in order to switch them pipes out. Like you had to tear down a building and tear up the ground to fix that. Like, nah, bro. The city ain't spending that shit, bro. That shit gonna keep going on. People gonna keep and then you wonder why these cities out here, these guys out here killing each other and shit. Kids can't focus in school. You wonder why all that stuff's happening, bro. Look at the damn water supply. They poison. A lot of them poison, man. And the food too. Some of that shit they eating, they selling them spots they shopping at. That shit ain't no good, man. You got that, you got the food, you got the water supply, and then you got them spraying shit all over the top of your goddamn neighborhood all day. And those are the three elements for disaster. Not only do they block into your chakras and fuck your mind up, they also got you wanting to kill your neighbor just because he look like you. You feel me? And not even just that, ain't even just people who claim to be black for real. That's every race. Yo, what up? What up, Alejandro?
Hey man, how you doing?
What's up, man?
How's life treating you?
I'm decent, man. What's up with you, G?
Not much, bro. Just trying to get this money. You feel me?
Hey, I respect that in every aspect, man. We just talking about that, man.
Yeah,
Making
I'm
sure we make these proper moves.
yeah, crypto and just been trying to make smart investments.
That's what it's all about, man. Moving the money around, letting it work for you. If
Hmm.
you out here moving, making money with your hands, you should have your money also working for you. That's a two team right there. That's your money working for you, and that's you working for you.
Yeah,
You find a third stream, that's three streams of income. You get another one, start moving stuff around. Let's say you start selling stuff on the internet. You got people inquiring about some stuff you want to make and sell and stuff like that. Then you got three streams of income. Three streams of income, that's when that stress decreases because you ain't worried about how you paying the bills every month. It's coming in.
yeah. Flipping stuff locally on from Craigslist and whatnot.
My man, I love to hear it, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just wanna be my own boss, man. I just wanna live, just do shit on my own terms.
That's respect. I think we all do, man, as nationals, man. That's what we
I'm
want.
I'm tired of I don't know, just the thinking of going to a job, going to a place to work for someone. It's just I don't see in what way that can is right in society. I just don't I don't see it, man. I don't. I don't know if you know where I'm coming from, man, but just going to slave for someone, it's just I don't know.
I mean, to be honest with you, that's why that's why the United States corporation is in the position it's in right now, and people are all fucked up
Hmm.
because they doing that shit. They relying on Big Brother to take care of their ass. That's what the fuck's happening, and that's why it's happening. That mentality. You don't have that mentality, and that's why you here. You know what I mean?
You know what I was thinking the other day? I questioned myself. I said, what if all these people around, I was like, just in the city that I'm in, I'm like, what if the people just decided not to, like, they just all got together and they were like, okay, we're just not gonna go to work today. We're just not gonna go slave for this business that we're working for, right? We're just not gonna go to work today, and nobody would go to work. What would happen? The corporation, the U.S. corporation, would collapse. It would collapse.
Exactly. That's what we talked. Remember, I don't know if you just joined, but yo, we talked about the uh
I just joined
the
in. I
dollar.
just joined in. I
Yeah,
just hopped in.
we talked about that earlier. The dollar is backed on you getting in there to go to work. You
Facts.
literally have, even if let's say they were U.S. citizens or whatever, yo, they literally have all the fucking power because at the end of the day, they're the physical living souls that have to put the work in. The legal entity cannot work by itself. It's a fucking ens legis. It can't do shit. You have to go in and do something for it. So the dollar, that's what the dollar's dependent upon. But I've been saying this for a long time. Remember
Mhm.
when the gas shit happened, where they were
Yeah,
charging
on the
all that
East
money
Coast,
for gas?
it happened to me. Yeah.
Yo, bro, like I'm talking about back in 2007. Yo, what if everybody said, you know what? Fuck it, I ain't buying no gas for 3 days. We ain't buying no gas. You can suck my ass.
Hmm.
What if people did that shit for 3 days? How do you think that would have ended up? Yo, the gas price. I say Joseph laughing. Yo, the gas. Let me let my man in. What up, Joseph? Yo, the
Hey,
gas
what's up?
prices would have been low as hell. You know I'm right though. The gas price would have been low because at the end of the day, if you're not going in and you're not spending your hard-earned fiat currency, they can't keep moving. So you say, you know what? No, we ain't buying gas at $5 a gallon. We're buying it $2 a gallon. You set the price, or we going another 3 days without no fucking gas. And they looking at you like, holy shit, can they do that? But the issue is, people want to go for self. People want, I fuck them. I'm gonna go get some gas. I don't care what they doing. I gotta go to work. Ain't nobody uniting.
But if everybody would unite, basically, yeah, that's what I was. That's the main point. If everybody would unite, then man, it would take over everything because there's more of us than there is the elite.
Yeah,
Where they're what the 2% maybe, and the people's the 98%.
agreed,
That
man.
reminds me. I forget what I was reading, but I think like during like the civil rights era, like there was the issue with like the bus systems, and people got like so tired of what they was doing, they were just like, you know what, we're gonna stop using the buses, and then they decided to start changing laws because people was doing that.
Yeah, I think that was Dr. King staged that, didn't he? I think it was called
Yeah.
for a year they didn't take the bus. They got their asses busted over that because they lost millions because of that shit. I think the most that particular demographic of people, which was quote unquote the black people, they were the ones
Mhm.
who used the bus the most in that area. So that bus was dependent upon their dollars. So if they weren't using the bus, the bus wasn't getting paid. They lost a lot of money behind that, bro. So at the end of the day, they was like, "Yo, we losing money. Y'all got to figure something out because these people ain't playing no more with y'all dumbass." And what happened?
Right.
They figured that shit out. You know.
Did
At
you
the
ever
same
look
time,
into
oh, go on.
what's it grind time? You ever look into what I sent you about Tartaria?
I think I jogged my memory about that.
Um, so it's basically the history that we're told in school, right? Um, if you look at the videos, it's alternate history because it was a whole worldwide civilization that had, like, if you look at the architectures in Europe and in Mexico, these like freaking like buildings that no way that horse and wagon people riding on horses and wagons could have created those architecture buildings that are like enormous and like so detailed and crafted. Like there's no way that they could have built those buildings. So basically, there was a worldwide civilization that was running off Tesla's created energy, free energy. And yeah, it's basically I don't know who wiped them out. Maybe some elite people maybe just wanted to wipe them out. I don't know, but damn, that shit, like that makes you really think about what we're told in school as well. Like what is actually real and what is not real. You know?
Yeah,
Hmm.
absolutely, man. Yeah, that's interesting. You mentioned Tesla too, because we just talked about crystals earlier. They were saying crystals were pretty much ancient technology. So I'm wondering if maybe Tesla had somehow ability to use crystals to manipulate energy to do all that stuff like that. And it's also interesting that they declassified documents. We talked about this a long time ago too. The FBI, I think it might have been the FBI itself, but they declassified documents saying that Tesla was actually from Venus. That motherfucker was not
I
from
was
here.
just thinking that too.
He was yo,
The
that dude
knowledge,
was
bro.
not a man. That dude was another being, bro. And I don't know if he was a
The knowledge, bro. It's just no way that someone like us had that type of knowledge. He had to grab that knowledge from somewhere else. Honestly,
hmm yeah, that dude was actually from Venus, man. So it just makes me wonder if, you know, that's probably not even how he physically looked, obviously, or A or B, whatever civilization he came from, Venus, if they all look like that, they might look like men and women, but they might be another civilization. That's a whole nother can of worms. But I mean, this is the facts, and we got to talk about the facts because that's what the facts are.
yeah.
Hmm.
Declassification. I mean, they redacted their fair share of information, which they always do, but I mean, the stuff is there to be seen. If you don't believe me, and if you think I'm making shit up, go look in the documents yourself, and you'll find it.
Mm, man.
Yes, yeah, a lot of hey, you might be right, man. A lot of those building structures I looked at and stuff like that. You go to Washington D.C. and you look at some of them building structures
Oh
that
yeah, the
supposedly have been there thousands of years.
the
Like,
White
bro, you
House,
ain't built that shit, huh?
the White House, the
Yeah.
where the president is at. That
hmm
was not built by nobody from that was here in America. Like I'm talking about like the people that were told like they come from England and Christopher Columbus and all this bullshit. Like that shit was created by some people that were advanced. I'm talking about like I don't even know, bro. But it was hell yeah, that shit was crazy.
Yeah. It's and then then you got my part of me that says, "Yo, this shit is like simulation stuff like that. Shit built by whatever program built it, and it's there before whatever
There's
purpose it's
actually
supposed to serve."
yeah, there's like a video that I was watching that from up above, like
There's a slight
let me see
echo.
how to put it. Yeah, it's echoing. Huh?
Y'all got an echo?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Oh shit.
there's a slight echo.
hold up. Let me. Oh, there was this guy. He was going over like the building structures in Europe and everything, and he actually says that there's a building in the middle, so that building is the one that receives the free energy, right? And all like the buildings outside, all the roads and everything, I guess you could say, they like literally pattern up like a damn like a like a software, like the physical software of a computer. That's exactly how it looks from up above.
Hmm. That's interesting stuff, man.
Wow.
What about the y'all ever heard about the dumbs though?
The what?
The dumbs,
Mm-mm.
The
the
dumb?
underground military bases. Yeah, dumbs, the
Mm-mm.
underground military bases. I forgot what the D stands for, but it's basically underground military bases, pretty much. And they were saying that those were also built by ancient civilization too, that actually resides probably underground. They were
Mm,
saying like, yo, a lot of those people you call extraterrestrials and shit like that, them motherfuckers ain't from no outer space. They from the ground. And
no, yeah,
some of them even say it's some in the water. It might be a completely different species in the ocean.
right. I ain't trying. I'm not trying to get into flat Earth or anything, but supposedly there's layers below, and obviously there's layers above. Which, if you get into the higher state of mind, or when this physical body dies, and you do as you need, and you do as you do as you're supposed to on this earth, then obviously you transcend, or the people who are in low vibrations, they stay in the low vibrations. I don't know, but like that's what's taught. You feel me? And there's a reason why that's not taught no more too. Like you got to think about it. But anyways, supposedly the people that they talk about, these reptilians and whatnot, supposedly they're coming from beneath the earth. Like the shit's crazy, but you know.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. They said there was another document I had read. Harry Truman had actually created some kind of treaty. I actually I think I might have told you all about this a while back, but Harry Truman actually created a treaty with the Greys, I think it was, and the Greys were pretty much a alien civilization, and the agreement was that they were supposed to have a certain amount of technology given to man and women, of course, and such. And in an exchange, they would be able to abduct a certain amount of U.S. citizens every year. And this had happened. Oh, geez, I think this might have been 1940s, and maybe before that. I can't remember exactly the date. But what basically happened is the deal went sour because there wasn't as much technology being pushed forward, but there was a growing, increasing number of the U.S. citizens that were disappearing. So that ended up being this whole thing about it and shit. And it's pretty much an issue going on with those now. And this is all documents I've read from the government.
Mhm.
This public shit. Like you can go look this shit up. It's not hidden. It's not no underground bunker. This shit is out there to read. It's up to you to go find it. But
Right.
it's a lot to it, man. Yeah, deep underground military bases. That's what they call DUMBs. Deep underground military bases. And they
Mhm.
said these actually found another thing on Instagram too, where they actually had the a giant machine that actually dug those tunnels. Was huge.
Mhm.
And I think they said it was seven miles wide or some shit. It can dig like 7 miles of tunnels in a day. It's crazy,
Mm.
yo. Yeah, it's wild. But the technology they have, man, it's otherworldly.
And
And the crazy thing, a majority of it you don't even see here. Majority of that, like this phone stuff like this, yo, bro, they probably had this shit in the 70s.
oh yeah, you got to think about it, man. In school, as we're growing up, we're taught that the people back then were not as smart as we are, supposedly, right? They were not as intelligent. But if you do your research, and like I said, if you look at the architectures that are in those countries, bro, like if you use common sense, like I got in when you were talking about common sense. If you use common sense and you literally look around and you think, nah, man, they were way more advanced back then than what we are right now. We're way too dumbed down. I'm telling you. Well, just everybody in general.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, yeah, people would like to say, "Oh, yeah, we're much more advanced now than we were back then."
They
I
they think
mean,
we're advanced because of the technology,
that's what I was about to
but
say. Yeah,
but they were advanced in using like I'm talking about like transcendental type things. It's just
hmm
it's hard to explain.
no, no, you're
Mhm.
talking about pretty much the technology, human technology, pretty much, if you
Yeah,
would. You mean like things like astral projection and
all that. Yeah.
telepathic connectivity. I'm gonna tell you something, bro. The consciousness grid was a big thing back then. And the consciousness grid, the issue is to control humans, you have to control the consciousness grid.
Mm,
Everyone's connected to a degree with our the way our minds work. Pretty much, we're all connected. All living things have connection to all other living things of the same sort.
mm-hmm.
Monkeys are connected to other monkeys. That's how they all know when to move around. Birds are the same way. You ever
To
watch birds
migrate.
fly? And
Mm-hmm.
they fly in an exact pattern. They're not talking to each other. They're connected, bro. They
Right.
know when and why they're flying, the direction they're flying, and what shape they're flying in. All this stuff has a grid. We have a grid too. But the thing about it is, if people are dependent on shit like the news and stuff like that, they're not tapped into the grid. That's a whole separate grid. That's an artificial grid.
Right.
The natural grid that we're on is nationals ourselves and everybody else who wants to think independently. Pretty much, the
Hmm.
grid that we're on pretty much is the natural grid. That's why we're all linked up and connected. We're finding ways to reach out to each other, and it's becoming increasingly easy because the more of us reach out, the more we're able to speak, and the more we're able to talk to people who, might have a spark there but didn't know where to look or nothing like that. And then when they hear about it, you just douse goddamn gasoline all over the spark, and you just created an inferno.
Hmm.
So it's easier and easier. It's getting easier for us to talk to each other. So there you have it, man.
That's
Like,
pretty much what happened with my situation.
break that down.
Well, basically, how I came across this information, like I had always known for the longest that something was like out of place, but you know how like you just can't put your finger on it, but you know you see it in some capacity. So I'm actually kind of happy that this whole pandemic shit wouldn't happen because if it wasn't for that, I don't think I would have met my roommate who told me what was happening behind the scenes. And once he did, I was just like, that's why I gravitate to certain things. Like a lot of the shit that I watch, most of the anime, the movies, I'm always fascinated by things that's always talking about breaking out of the world. But I can never explain why I was always attracted to shit like that until he had told me. So I was like, oh shit, okay.
Nice. Yeah, see, you lucked up. You got yourself a roommate that broke it down for you, man. That's dope though, for real. Like, I had a boy, dude I knew for a minute and shit, and he actually introduced me because I used to back in the day. I used to say, "Man, you crazy? You over there riding without no license plate? They gonna beat your ass." He was like, "Shit, they ain't gonna beat shit." I, I was one of them guys, like, but I would always ask him, "How you able to do that, man? Explain to me how you able to run around without a license plate." So he broke it down, and I was like, "Yo, that's crazy." So then a guy came over to talk to me one day. We were talking about something completely unrelated. And he was like, "Yeah, man, people getting in trouble because they U.S. citizens." I'm like, "What you mean?" So he was like, "Yo," he showed me the passport card. I'm like, "Yo, hold up, this shit look hard as a bitch. You carrying a passport card? I didn't even know it was such thing as a passport card." He was like, "Yeah, man, I do this and that and such or whatever like that. And if you want to get down, I can put you down with the video." Dude showed me the video. Ever since then, man, I just kept learning, because I felt it was fascinating, like, bro, we got
Hmm.
rights. I told you, we got rights. We actually got rights. Oh shit. You know what I mean, man? It says,
Yeah, but see, like, what's kind of like strange about it, like, it kind of bothers me how desperate people are to keep on the way that they are now. Because it's like, even if you don't know this material, you see that something about the world is just not right. But then when people come to you with the answers, it's like you dismiss it and you can't even explain why you're dismissing it.
yeah,
I've had like for example when you was talking about the fluoride, it actually reminded me of why I started looking into like certain things about diseases and stuff. I'm the kind of person that when I get bored, I just let my mind wander, and eventually I started doing a bunch of research. Back in 2012, one of the things that crossed my mind was, okay, every year people say that there's never enough funding for cancer research. But in the back of my mind, I'm just like, if that's the case, where the fuck are you getting the money for all these damn new commercials and shit and all these medications you keep putting out every year? So I started doing my research and I started trying to figure out what logical sense does it make to put radiation inside your body to kill a disease? And then I started finding out about colloidal silver, and I found out about this woman named Reen Case who had this Indian woman basically tell her put a bunch of herbs together and it literally kills off the cancer infection. I started finding out about ozonated water and all this other different stuff. But then, when I started trying to explain it to people, people were just like, you're bullshitting and is this and that, the holistic medicine is going to kill you. And it's always the people that don't take the time to do their own research. So this one dude I was having a discussion with, um, I'm assuming he got mad because I showed him a bunch of different government websites where the information was documented, and to this day I can't get him to talk to me. So I'm like, oh well.
well, it's yeah, you know what's crazy? It's not even you, bro. It's called cognitive dissonance, bro. Like, yo,
Mhm.
cognitive dissonance is one of the, like, that is the main problem we're experiencing right now with people who plugged in still. Cognitive dissonance, man. They hold on to that belief that they believed all their life. That's all they've ever known, yo. They don't have any way to know
Mhm.
anything else and to know that it's something they can actually trust. So when they're presented with something to know that it shows them what they think is real is fake, they panic and to see if you do one or two things. You either accept it or you just reject that motherfucker and then attack the motherfucker that try to sell you the information. Like, yo, fuck, who the fuck is
Mhm.
you to be showing me the truth? Fuck you. And then actually, you know, you get in a fight with somebody who you just tried to show them, you know, the news ain't real. So now cognitive dissonance is a big problem, yo. But I mean, this is one of the truths we're facing, man. But I mean, the only thing I can say, bro, is if you ain't awakened by now, bro, it's too late because we moving forward right now at an alarming rate.
Mhm.
You feel me? Like, bro, if you
Mhm.
look at how we was in 2020, take yourself right now and compare yourself to you in January of 2020. Actually, I said, yeah, January, because that's when U.S. almost got in that fucking war with what the hell was it? Was it Israel or some shit like that? I think I don't remember,
Yeah,
but
tell me about that real quick. Like, what had happened again?
I forgot. I know it was something to do with a missile or something like that. A bomb, a base got bombed, but nobody got hurt, quote unquote. I don't believe that shit. But
It's
bottom
all
line is
scary.
this. The bottom line is this. The bottom line is this. Take where you were then and compare yourself to where you are now. And just think of how much shit went on, how many times your emotions were manipulated from not even just the news, but people around you and shit. The masks,
Mhm.
people yelling at you for not wanting to put on a mask and shit. If you was one of them people that didn't want to wear a mask, you know what I mean? Just all the bullshit you had to
Right.
deal with. And all this stuff was pretty much stirred up and conjured up to create problems between each other. Yeah, but it backfired because now you know who you can talk to and who you can't.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now let me take some
Bringing up
questions. Hold on, let me take some questions real quick. Interdimensional beings and no such thing as outer space. Agreed. Carbon dating those structures raises more questions than
Questions
answers.
and answers.
Collective consciousness. Yep. The 13th. I watched that movie, yo. The 13th.
Hey, consultant.
That movie was crazy. The 13th floor, bro. My man was yo. I ain't gonna give the movie away, but yo, that shit was it had a very Matrix vibe to it. It was crazy. I watched it though, man. It was a mind fuck. The Great Awakening, yeah. Everybody was talking about 2020 was the Great Awakening. And crazy because 2020, the 2020 vision thing, how you can see clearly with 2020 vision, it just makes you
Mhm.
wonder if this is how it's been written like this. Or maybe we just in an endless loop and every generation that happens pretty much is just a different time period, but we all playing the same roles we were born to play. Perhaps that's what it is. I can't explain it, man, but it's just something guided. There's a reason it's us. You feel me? There's a reason we're having this conversation right now. It could be the next door neighbor having this conversation, but it's not. It's us, and there's a reason for that.
Mhm.
Is it predisposed? Is it predetermined? Is it in our DNA? Is it our minds? Is it a genetic code or something? I don't know, man. It's weird, but it's there. Absolutely, brother. We all connected. Yep, you got it. Yeah, man. So that's what it is, man. Really.
Yeah, have you gone back and like watched certain shows that you're familiar with, but now with like the mindset you have, and like it's just amazing how much shit just flew overhead the first time.
Yes, sir.
right, yeah, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Like you catch so many shit in the movie, you're like, yo, look at that, look at that, look at that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I was talking about the Loki TV show last Thursday and how I just was looking at everything that was happening. It was a direct clone of going to court here and how dishonor is basically death and you got to stay in honor at all times. And Loki is like the most dishonorable. I don't think there's been a villain more dishonorable than Loki because all the other villains had actual reasons for shit they did. Loki's was just
Mhm.
basically about lying and causing problems for real.
mm,
And he got sent to that dimension where everything was honorable. They never argue with you. They always accept what you said and counter offer. And if you don't accept the counter offer, you're in dishonor. It was interesting.
Mm.
Yeah, it was very interesting.
yeah, definitely. I
Watch
feel like
the
everything
soul
definitely
Disney
has a bigger
movies. They
meaning.
putting truth in the movies. Universal love. We are mortal souls. We are not our bodies. Yeah. Yep. It's becoming more and more clear every day, man. Yep. What were you saying, Alejandro?
Yeah, no, I was just saying that they had a lot of stuff in the movies, but going back to 2020 of January, man, that's when I actually got my passport.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, my diplomatic community passport.
that's badass,
Mm.
man. That's badass. That's
That's
what's up.
when I feel like when was it? That's when everything clicked, man. That's when I was like finding everything out about law, and
Mhm.
I just wanted to keep digging deeper, 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 and I still want to, but I also gotta, like I said, man, we gotta find ways to um, make this money flow. Not. like I was telling you earlier, not work for anybody, man. Just find ways to make this money come in without, work smarter, right? You want to work smarter, not harder, type thing.
You might want to holler at my man, Knowledge Raw Media about the trust. Get with him.
Yeah,
Set up the trust.
I actually want to wait on Finest Thing Walking to come out with his, but yeah.
To each his own.
Have you guys you guys ever seen this YouTube channel called Sovereign Living?
No, I haven't.
Okay, if you got time, you might want to go. They got a lot of information. I've been binge watching their stuff about like the police stops and everything. Watch their videos.
The police stops.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I don't think I could put it in the chat right here. Actually, no.
That would come.
I'll put it in the private chat.
That come very, very.
All thing the police really can do, man, is try to bully you and shit like that. But they know what the fuck that computer told them. I tell you what, they know what that computer said. And when they call dispatch and shit like that, then they say, "Oh, well, yeah, just give them a ticket and let the court deal with it or whatever." But they know exactly what that shit said.
Wasn't that your video that showed that?
Which one?
Didn't you have a video where like someone had the police officer tell them specifically what showed up when they scanned their passport?
I might have watched it on my video, but I didn't do it myself. But yeah, I know who you're talking about. That's my man Taquan X. I haven't seen him put up another video in a while, but I did speak to him a couple weeks back to make sure he was good, and he is. But he the shit, yeah, it was there, and they knew what that shit said. They just be trying to fuck with you and shit.
Yeah,
it's an ego thing with those motherfuckers, man. You know.
Yeah, because I feel like he literally told me I would take you to jail for lying, but he literally just said it because he was pissed. He was pissed.
Yeah, he was pissed. Yeah, because they come over here with all that. You know what it is?
Kind of way.
They come over there with that attitude, like, what the fuck is your life, you dumb motherfucker? And then when they go see that shit, do not detain, you bitch. That's how they feel. They're like, oh shit, and they got to get their composure together. And then when they come back over to you, they like, yeah, you know I can fuck you up right now, right? Because they got to get that fear out of you. They got to get that.
And you see, the thing is, he was coming with that negative vibe, and the way that I respond is just remaining composed and not really responding back with anything, just with basically just telling them that I'm not going to answer his questions and telling them that I'm traveling. That's basically it.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. And people are starting to realize the more shit you tell a police officer, they use it to hang you because it's easy as fuck. If they can just pull up what you said and throw that at you in court, that's an easy conviction or whatever the fuck you want to call it for something stupid and minor, like a traffic ticket or something.
It's all legal fiction. That's what it is. It's all made up.
When you don't talk to them, they take offense to it because they can't do their job, which is to collect revenue.
Right.
You know,
and it's funny how they respond, though.
Yeah, they hate that shit. I remember a motherfucker tried to in the state of Maryland, some questions you are required to answer. Yeah, no, thank you. No thanks, buddy.
I had, with my situation, the police officer was trying to tell me what the law was, and he said he had the law books. I was like, okay, show me, and he didn't want to. So it's like, okay, if you know the law, you shouldn't have an issue telling me what it is if I'm clearly questioning you and telling you otherwise.
Right.
I don't even go into all that, bro. I just tell them I'm traveling. I'm a foreign national. I just keep repeating myself and just let that be what it is. Because, like, yo, it's at the end of the day, it's gonna take more brain power for you to keep finding different questions to ask me and try to trip me up than it is gonna be for me to just keep saying the same shit. So I'll always have a quicker response than you if I just say I'm a foreign national. I'm a foreign national. I'm a foreign national. It is what it is, you know. So, and if they want to take it past that and shit. Hey, we got ways we can get around that shit now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's called fee schedule.
Yeah, making money off these damn counties and cities.
I mean, at the end of the day, your time is valuable. You know?
Hell yeah.
Shit, I don't know about you, but my time is worth gold and silver. And if you can't provide me with gold and silver, you're gonna provide me with currency equivalent or fiat equivalent, so I can buy that shit.
Yep.
Or discharge, whatever the fuck you want to call it. You can't buy anything. Sovereign living.
Right.
I see it right here. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's take some questions real quick. How's y'all stance on entheogens? I have no goddamn idea.
What is that?
I don't know what that is.
Young guy in that video, the officer was cool though. Yeah. Yeah, officer was cool. I mean, you got some of them that are cool, and like I said, you get more the egotistical ones. They the younger guys, the guys that just they feel like they got something to prove. They the lowest on the totem pole with the force, so they
I
got to get
cracked
out
the
on the street and feel hard body.
I cracked the window like this, right, and I just slapped the passport, and that's what pissed him off, man. He started opening my door and shit. But hey, as long as he's not laying
Mm.
hands on me, as long as he's not laying hands on me, bro, we're straight.
And make sure your shit locked too. That's another thing I gotta make sure too. Like
Right,
sometimes when I hit the damn roll down button, I got the auto roll, so that should have rolled down all the way. And make
right,
sure I
right,
just put that shit down just a little bit, keep that door locked. So you pulling that door handle. I mean, you're in violation of trust right now. This is a private conveyance. This is private. Do you have a warrant? If you don't have a warrant and you open this door, you in your private capacity right now. You're not operating as a police officer. You're operating as a man. That's breaking and entering pretty much. You have
Hmm.
a warrant to go in personal property, private property. Like they can't just come in your goddamn house. They need a warrant for that shit. It's the same thing. That's what a UCC 91091 is. It's an extension of basically your household product is personal property. So
right.
look that up. UCC 91091.
And it's funny on all the mailboxes it says U.S. mail though, U.S. mail,
Yep.
right?
Yep. U.S. mail, and then you got some places that say United States Post Office, and then you got some that says U.S. Postal Service.
Hmm.
If you pay attention to that wording, it's two different things. The post office itself is the actual post office.
Hmm.
The postal service, that's a goddamn company right there. Should I still go as far as to say the other one's a company too, because it's still United States, and the United States is a DUNS number. So if it has a DUNS number, it's a business.
Oh yeah.
I just came across a video not too long. It was actually sent to me by a friend of mine. It was about using the USPS money orders to discharge debt, and it was explaining that the USPS isn't actually even owned by the US. It's actually owned by not German. It's owned by someone else, but it's not the US.
In Britain,
Mm-mm. I think is it Swiss? It's owned by somebody, but it's not the US. I'll send you a video later.
yeah, I'll take a
Yo,
look at it.
A6. They told me some people, my people, they told me if you don't like how it is here, why don't you move to another country, right? And I say, well, from what I've learned here in America, in the land of America, is the is the only is still one of the only places in the world that you can defend your rights, knowing how to defend your rights, right?
Hmm.
So if you go to, let's say, for instance, I have Mexican background, so if I want to move to Mexico, well, Mexico's full of corruption, right? The, you know what I'm saying? In Central America, it's a monarchy. South America, the countries in South America, it's a monarchy. So, how do you? What's your take on that? Like, how do you view the other countries of the world apart from the land of America?
I
Like,
mean, I'm
is
gonna go as far
obviously.
as yeah, I'm gonna go as far as to say I heard what happened in Myanmar, man. Did y'all hear what happened in Myanmar last year?
Mm-mm.
Mhm.
Bro, the military, it's a military coup. They took over the government and they were shooting protesters in the street. Unarmed protesters were getting shot dead by the military. So yeah, I mean these people are protesting the military takeover and shit. They're not allowed to even have no damn weapons.
That's what I'm
And
saying.
meanwhile, here in the good old U.S. of A., you know what I mean? We're able to do such things like bear arms and stuff. Like even though they give you shit about it, we can still technically bear arms without being shot dead in the street. In most cases, um, you know, we get to still speak out and shit like that. No, don't make no mistake. The United States corporations would love to have it like Myanmar at some point where they pretty much can fuck you up. But I
Hmm.
mean, at the end of the day, you still got a bunch of people who want the republic to be pretty much what it is. They don't want to have to be a part of a corporation. They basically just want to have all their rights and be peacefully moving around. And at the end of
Mm-hmm.
the day, that's what it comes down to, man. You know. So I do believe. I know what this country can be, man. I know what it can be, and I know what the people deserve. And the people deserve their rights, and they deserve to live peacefully. They don't deserve to be getting jerked and pulled around every which direction. You feel me?
100%.
Mm-hmm.
So I was looking at the president's talk, and when you walk into court, you see the yellow fringes around the flag. You see the president's talking on the TV. Um, And not only does the U.S. flag have the yellow fringes, but all the other countries have them as well.
They
So
all corporate. All of them are corporations, bro.
right,
They're all corporations,
but
man.
yeah,
All of them are corporations. The only reason America survived this long is because we have the Second Amendment. I'm
hmm
telling you, yo. Like, I think it was I always tell the story. I think it might have been the Emperor of Japan, or it might have been China. This is a while back. And he basically said that an on ground invasion of the United States of America would be impossible because there would be a rifle behind every blade of grass. That's what he said.
hmm
So that's literally, I believe, the only reason that shit hasn't happened yet. And people are so eager to give that shit up, and they don't realize, the reason why we're able to still speak out against injustice is because of that. And the moment you give that away, hey, shut your mouth and go sit in the corner, and
mm.
don't say nothing either. You know.
That's when martial law comes in, huh?
Yep. I don't think it ever gets to that point. Honestly, this isn't a war that can be fought with weapons anyway. This is a war that can be fought with, pretty much your mind. But like, it keeps the reason why that is because of that. You feel me?
Yeah.
It keeps it in check. Balance, man, balance. You know what I mean?
hmm
But the people are waking up though, man. Numbers, man, numbers don't lie. People are waking up. People are starting to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, man. I'm walking
Hmm.
into stores and I'm like, shit. Like, do we still have to have our mask on? So I'm walking in with my mask, right? And I see, the folks, and they don't got their mask on. I'm like, okay, they don't believe in this shit no more. They know it's just the so-called flu or whatever.
That shit's bull. Yeah, it should same thing it's always been pretty much.
Yeah, man. It's just the flu.
Yep. All right, so look, my man said that's entheogens or psychedelics. I heard a lot of shit about psychedelics. I've heard people that took psychedelics have had some pretty good experiences. I've never particularly used any of them, but I've heard that you can see things that you wouldn't normally be able to see for whatever reason, the way the air is or the way the mind has been programmed. But on the psychedelics, you can hear certain things and you can see certain things you wouldn't normally be able to pick up on.
I'm very interested in psychedelics.
See, but I'm always on some shit where I ain't trying to do no man-made shit. You know what I mean? Like if I do
Right.
some shit, it's gonna be out the earth. You feel me? So yeah,
100%.
Right.
that's where I'm at with it.
Yeah.
Um, my man says the flag with the yellow fringe has to do with Lincoln Lieber Act. We are under martial law since then. It hasn't been lifted. Yeah, it's a military takeover, pretty much. It's a that flag is pretty much what's called a Jolly Roger or Admiralty flag, basically. So
Oh,
Admiralty
see?
flag is a military flag. Yeah, he's right. So that's why the shit is corporations and it's under Admiralty jurisdiction when it comes to court cases and stuff like that. It's all military tribunals. So when you got to go to court for a traffic ticket, it's pretty much a tribunal and they're treating you like a soldier. But they'll never tell you that shit though. They're not allowed to tell you that.
Yeah.
They are not allowed to admit that. You'll be
And hey,
you'll be held in contempt of court before they admit that shit.
it says it on Google. If you look up United States flag with yellow fringes around it, click images, and then scroll like a few, and then it'll show the flag, and then on the side it'll have no nation. It represents no nation, and it represents no constitution. Like, come on, bro.
Hmm. They know that. You think them magistrates don't know that shit? And
Yeah, they gotta know it.
all them bailiffs know that shit too. Every officer in that court that's standing in that courtroom knows exactly what's going on, and that's what's so
Mhm.
sinister about it. Could
Yep.
you have a job where you run deception like that on people? I couldn't even work in a fucking job like
I
that, yo.
know, right?
Like you
Damn,
gotta
bro.
go to work doing that shit every day, bro, and look people in the face when you get off, bro. I cannot believe these people. They ain't people, man. These motherfuckers gotta be aliens or some shit. They can't be people. How the hell can you? How can you look people in the face when you get off work, knowing you do some shit like that for a living?
I just
You
feel like
basically robbing people for a living.
they just have so much hate. I guess that they don't see it no more. They just see it as it's just we're gonna die and nothing's gonna come after that.
Yeah,
That's what a lot of people think, man. That's why people live how they live. They don't give a shit because they think that when we die, there's nothing after that.
that's when the next life they're gonna be a goddamn paperweight. Some arbitrary. They might fuck around be the a goddamn Timberland
A
boot
rock.
sole.
Yeah,
Timberland boot sole. Some
golly.
bullshit. Traffic ticket courts or administrative court only can talk to fictions unless you do it right as a man, woman. Absolutely, brother. And yeah, it opens your third eye. It gets a bad rap. You don't see pink elephants and shit like that. Shit shows you the truth, my man. I said pink elephant. A lot of people was talking about the pink elephants, bro. I'm like, yo, if you, I never want to see a pink elephant anywhere. Like,
Yeah. Pink elephant.
Yeah,
God,
it's an old school saying about pink elephants and shit.
oh shit.
Yeah, it's hilarious. But yeah, bruh. Hey, and the bad thing about it, if you when you first popped it, whatever, and you see a pink elephant, bro, you got 3 more hours of seeing pink elephants. No, thank you. But now, I don't believe that anyway. But yeah, you know how
Uh,
it goes.
yeah. What
Yeah,
was I saying? Um,
Were you
my
talking about
man
the
said,
fringes?
yeah, we talking about the fringes on the flag.
oh, about afterlife. Okay.
All right, my man's talking about afterlife right now. He says death is just a transition. If people honestly think that you live once and then you learn all things you need to learn in one life. Yeah, yada. I said this, yo, listen, bro. It definitely is. I'm starting to feel more and more every day, bro. Like whatever life I had before this, man, I was on this same path. Now, I'm not sure if I died because of it or whatever, or if I didn't learn enough or didn't do something right that last life. But
Hmm.
nah, this is by design, man. That's why I said it's got to be something encoded in the DNA or something like that. Our souls that inhabit the spirits that inhabit our body, man. It's got to be something where like it's picking up this information as we go along, But you know, it's just
Yeah.
fascinating
Y'all,
to me, man.
That's one when
y'all
you.
ever had those dreams where like you felt everything that was happening?
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah, for sure.
Felt everything that was happening. Like what? Like I had a dream when I was in 10th grade. This badass chick that sit next to me in science class. I had a dream I was smashing. That's about it.
Nah, bro. Like I'll be eating, bro. I'll be
Hey, I'm
having a
being
dream.
honest with you, man.
I'll be having a
I
dream,
mean,
and
Yeah.
go on.
yeah, I'll be having a dream, and I'll be eating something like like whatever I would be eating, and it just tastes so real. But I'm dreaming, so how can I fucking taste it? You feel me?
Yeah.
Obviously, that's something that we cannot. I don't know, man. It's crazy.
It's
Yeah.
like
No, I feel you on
everything
that.
that appeals to the five senses is like it's everything's being triggered. Like okay, back in 2017, I don't know why I had this particular dream, but I had a dream that I was an assassin and I was pissed off at something. So I went onto a military base and started taking people out, and then everyone
Holy
trapped
shit.
me and like gunned me down with machine guns. So I was like, okay, I guess that's it for me then.
That's
But like the
crazy. You
whole
know the
thing that experience is like what really tripped me out is that I felt every bullet going through my body before I woke up.
damn.
What's it called? That's I think that's the etheric. That's the ether, man. I want to learn more about the ether, but I really don't know much about it. But the ether is just so amazing. I don't know if y'all heard about what the ether is. Do y'all know?
No, I think you were
Mm-mm.
explaining this to me last time. No, I never looked into it.
Yeah, man. Or it could be the astral plane. Maybe that's what they're talking about. But we have an etheric body. Supposedly, everybody has an etheric body. That's why when they when they amputate the leg or they amputate the arm, people can still feel the pain years and years and
Mm.
years and years after because the etheric body will always be there.
That's interesting stuff. Yeah, the phantom foot and stuff. Like I heard about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Mm.
a big thing in the I know that people were talking about that a lot in the '90s. The phantom foot and the phantom hand and stuff like that.
Hmm.
That's
Like just
crazy.
swearing that it's still right there.
How about this? How about did you ever leave your phone home by accident and you could swore you feel your phone vibrating in your pocket and it's not there?
That used to happen all the
Mm,
time.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's interesting stuff too, man. It makes me wonder, what the hell's going on there with that.
Yeah.
Brother, I seen the shit firsthand, and all it took was three little pieces. Wait, what? It was three little piece of paper, and yeah, it's a lucid dream. The Gage Nelson, you do live once, then it's heaven or hell after that. I don't agree with that, Jimmy, at
I
all.
don't know, man. I don't know.
No.
No, I don't agree with that at all. Dreams are just your other lives. Your soul would be as bored as fuck. Watch your body sleep, and your souls don't need sleep, so we do it through different realms. Okay. Nah, bro,
Yeah,
you live
honestly,
thousands of lives on earth from heaven, and hell is a
I don't get
mindset.
why
I've
some
been
people
from
still cling
soul.
to the heaven or hell notion, especially from a religious aspect. Like for those of you that still believe that the Bible is legitimate history, like why is it that some of you guys are so reluctant to read it in chronological order?
Hmm.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
Well,
understand that because
I
like
take it
when
a little more simple than that, Joseph. I would say that the Bible is pretty much a derivative of Egyptian beliefs. I mean,
oh it is.
the story of Jesus is pretty much the same story that came off the pyramids with the story of Horus and Ra and all that stuff.
it's really
It's almost
You
identical
ever
story.
it's really
you
all
ever looked up
syncretism,
Tony
to be honest.
Browder?
Hmm?
Like
Tony Browder, you
syncretism.
ever heard of him?
No,
He's a credible Egyptologist, and he actually has a few videos. They're a little bit dated, but they're on YouTube.
with the
But
similarities.
basically, he doesn't necessarily talk about the similarities, but he breaks down how all civilizations are basically they come from the blueprint that the Cometians laid out,
Hmm.
aka the Egyptians.
Tony Browder. Okay. Yeah, yeah. So like, yeah, I mean, it's obviously if you look at a lot of these beliefs and stuff, they've taken the Egyptian beliefs and they've modified them and such.
Hmm.
Now there is some good information in the Bible. Absolutely, there's some good stuff in there. But
I
like,
feel like the Bible is just full of truth. I feel like.
I think a lot of it is good information, but I don't think all of it's 100% what it's supposed to be. And case
Hmm.
in point, we can go as far as to say pages they've omitted so much stuff from the original Bible, dude. Like you literally have to go buy like 8, 9 other books to have a whole complete Bible. It might be more than that, as a matter of fact. But I know the Book of Apocrypha was one of them. That thing was huge. I mean, they've got
The
different
Book of
books of
Apocalypse.
Apocrypha.
Oh,
So they took out. So supposedly they took out like 40 books out of the Bible.
Was it 40?
Yeah, they took out 40 books,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you got to think back to the original Hebrew. Um, I've heard people are translating the Hebrew to English, but I've heard that there's some Hebrew that they just can't be translated because it's like hieroglyphs. You really don't know
You
what the
talking about
hieroglyphs.
cuneiform? You talking about cuneiform? Yeah, cuneiform was that was around before Hebrew. It was like a series of slanted and stick lines, and they found out that some of the lines were basically just imprints of different things that were going on in the society at that time. There was a
Hmm.
bunch of tablets that were
hmm.
found buried away at the time before the civilization had fell. They started to find this stuff later on as time
Yeah.
went by, but it was called cuneiform. That was
Mm.
the old language that was written.
So so when they're translating this, like you got to think about it too. It's all like manipulated, but a lot of stuff what the Bible says. I feel like it's the way to live your life, though. Even though it can be manipulated, um, and that's just something that we can't help. But the original Hebrew, um, it represents something more than words. Y'all ever have that one feeling where you're like, yo, like that happened, and I just can't explain it in words. It's like you just don't have any words to explain it. So they had that to represent those writings, and it's something that can be translated
Hmm.
into English.
Yeah, these guys over here arguing about the Bible in the comment section, yo. I'm
Damn,
not look, hey, look, this is what I'm not about.
come on, man.
I'm not about to come out here and discredit anybody's religion. All I'm saying is this. It is fact that the pyramids and their existence predate any Bible that was ever first written. And it's not a coincidence that a lot of the things that came from the story of Jesus Christ basically came from the story of the Bible and basically the child of the sun and such. All that stuff pretty much. It's no coincidence that stuff is pretty much very similar. So
Hmm.
it
Yeah,
can be drawn out that since one predates the other, one had to be taken from the other. Now, what you believe is what you believe. That's perfectly
yeah.
fine. I got no issue with what anybody believes, but we're gonna also talk about the facts. You know,
I mean, they can't they shouldn't be
Hmm.
arguing about the religions. If they wanna argue what the Bible is saying, then. But if they're arguing about religions, that's childish because we all know religions are corrupt.
right? Here's the thing. Here's the thing. The bottom line is this. Check this out. Let's put it in layman's terms. All right, if what you call Jesus, all right, if that's what you call him, when he was little, he was around, what have you, and when he went off and he disappeared for that long period of time, and he came back and he was basically showing people that with the right steps that you can become a higher level of consciousness also,
Hmm.
which is pretty much it makes sense because look, he went off to learn how to be a reach Christ consciousness where he can do all these things physically, but first he had to master his mind, body, and spirit and align them all,
Hmm.
basically chakras and all that
Mhm.
stuff. And he came back to show the people how to do the same thing.
Yeah,
So
that we can be like him.
exactly. So that's not saying that he's the only one. That's just saying that you can do that too. And it always says, and even in the Bible, that God is within you. So
Hmm.
we are technically the gods.
We're pieces of God, right?
Yep. So there you have
Yeah.
it.
My
Just don't y'all
philosophy
don't
is
y'all
that
don't get
human beings are the only real gods.
y'all
Mm.
don't get cognitive dissonance like A6 says on the Bible, man. Y'all just gotta realize that the it's all truth. It all goes together as one. I feel like you have all these religions, Islam and Judaism, Christianity. Then you got the other ones like Hinduism. You have
Hmm.
Buddhism. You know, you got the Egyptian story. It all goes together, man. It really does.
Yeah, there's just so much information out there, bro. It's damn near impossible. And then if you look at different stories, all the stories pretty much have a type of Jesus Christ in all the stories. Even I think Hinduism too, if I'm not mistaken. Now I didn't study that one,
Yeah.
but Buddhism also has a version of Jesus too. And it's like,
Yeah.
yo, how are all these stories coming with a version of Jesus? And if you look
They
at a lot of that stuff, it's derived from Africa because Africa was the central motherland landmass at the time. So a lot of life that was around back then, when I would say Earth was all one piece and the land masses were all connected at one point. Um, that was a major landmass. That's why a lot of stuff comes from there. You can look at dance forms, you can look at music, you can look at food traditions. Even the people. I mean, hey, that stuff. It's everything's connected, man. We
Yeah,
all
everything,
connected.
everything is connected.
Hmm.
I was listening to the Book of Enoch though. What was it? Yeah, maybe yesterday in the car. I was just riding and listening to the book, man. And again, y'all leave the childishness aside, man. It's something beautiful when you're listening to the mythological, his experiences, whether you believe in it or not, whatever you want to talk about. Um, the knowledge that it's talking about is something that the average human being can't even imagine because, like you say, the fucking fluoride is blocking the imagination.
Fluoride, yeah, yeah. Facts. Yeah, man. But yo, Jimmy, listen, bro. I'm not going against anything you're saying or whatever like that. I'm saying this based off of what we know from facts and stuff like that, and what we know from history. I would say that we are all gods ourselves, and it also says in the Bible that we are gods too. Says that in there. So I mean, again, so many books have been taken out of the Bible.
Yeah, a lot.
So many books have been taken out of the Bible, bro. Like
It's hidden in the
if you're
badness.
arguing the King James version, you already off on the wrong foot, man. There's so much stuff that's been gutted, and shit, the
Can
production
I
company
say
even
something
said
about that
they
real
took
quick?
stuff out of the Bible to save money on production. Would you say?
It's like, can I say something about being made in the image of God? Because this is something that really sits on my mind. In
Hmm.
the Bible, there's several instances of God, because we're supposed to be God's children, correct? There's several
Hmm.
instances of God losing emotional stability and going on a killing spree. Now, if we were really made in the image of God, do you really think that would be possible?
Hmm.
Like, just think about that for a second. I'm gonna give you a good example. Like, okay, we all know the story of Job, right? So allegedly, Job was like his most faithful servant, and apparently Satan, the devil of the Bible, whatever, he's supposed to be God's arch nemesis, the ultimate evil and all that stuff. Why would you deliberately deliver your most faithful servant to someone who's allegedly supposed to be your enemy? Why are you making deals with the devil himself as a deity that's supposed to be completely divine? And you can't say that it's not in the Bible because that's Job 1:12 and 2:6 right there. So
Yeah.
if we're really made in the image of God, what kind of a deity would do that to something that he created? Like that would be like because you guys know that I make a comic. That would be like me developing all my stuff and then just trashing it and saying I never knew it. Like it doesn't make any sense. It's mine. I created it. I'm the one that put all this imagination into it. Why would I just trash it like that if I made it in my image the way that I saw it? You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
That doesn't make any sense.
We got somebody joining in. I guess somebody wants to add to the conversation. I'm gonna say this though. I do remember where it said at one point in the Bible it actually said that God was the creator of good and bad or good and evil and such. He created all that. So
Isaiah 45:7.
yeah. So if that's the case, like, bro, that's just more evidence. You know what I mean? All right, we got Gage jumping in here. What's up, Gage? Speak your mind, man. Were you in a factory?
Oh yeah, I'm at work, brother. Yo, my bad. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's up?
Hey,
Oh yeah, I just wanted to clear up. Yo, I wasn't meaning no harm. I just wanted, just talking, bullshit. It wasn't really no hate towards the dude. I just wanted to get on there and clear that up. You know what I'm saying?
Ain't no problem. Ain't nobody
Yeah,
taking personal. We just having a discussion
yeah,
like a grown people. But
yeah,
I just
yeah,
hope
yeah. I
nobody's
would.
taking this personal because it's not that
No,
kind of
no, no,
convo.
no, 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 no. I was just, we just conversating. I wasn't meaning it like that. That's why I wanted to get on here and hear my voice or whatever. But with typing, you can take that any type of way. You can't really feel the emotion when typing or whatever. But
hmm Where you work at?
yeah,
It looks like
brother.
a
Yeah.
warehouse.
It's like a little automotive plant or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but yeah, I just wanted to clear that up. No, I have no hate. I try to love everybody like I would love myself or whatever. So you know what I mean. I mean, he's got his own
Respect,
beliefs.
respect,
I got my own. I wouldn't want nobody to, discredit my beliefs, just like I ain't gonna discredit somebody else's.
respect,
Hell,
respect. Appreciate
everybody,
that, man.
everybody, yeah, everybody's exactly where they need to be in life. Some people are on different paths. We all can't be on the same path, but you gotta respect it.
Right.
That's
But
good
yeah,
information, man. My man getting busy over there on them cars, man. Respect.
yeah,
Yeah, man.
yeah,
Yo, what you
brother.
paint? What you doing? Paint or something?
Oh no, roof rails or whatever that go on top of cars. I
Roof
built
rail?
them. Yeah,
Okay.
for like BMWs and shit.
Oh shit, that's dope. That's what's up,
Yeah,
man.
thank you, thank
That's
you.
what it is. Yeah, do
But
your
yo,
thing, man.
yeah. But I just want to say that I appreciate you for inviting me on here.
No doubt, man. Thanks. Thanks for
Oh,
watching.
oh, see you, brother. Gotta be
All right.
careful.
Yep. My man
Bye
over there
bye.
getting busy. I ain't mad at that. But yeah, man. Yeah. So ain't no disrespect. Ain't nobody out here, disrespecting nobody's beliefs. We just out here putting our information out. But
Yes,
in any case, we all pretty much on the same page when we agree with that everything that's going on. We don't completely agree with. So with that said, at this time it's time to unite, and that's what we plan to do, folks. So we continue
Joseph.
doing so.
Joseph, if you don't mind me
Hmm?
asking, what's your take on the Bible? Well, what is your
My
what
take
is
on
your
the
take?
Bible?
Yeah, like what do you how do you view it, or
It's trash.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh,
I mean, once I read the whole thing from start to finish and I started realizing how much crap people was leaving out, and for
mhm.
obvious reasons, I was like, okay,
Right.
wow, like why am I applying this garbage doctrine to my life now that I've actually read it all the way through?
Okay. Yeah. I can see. So, any other reasons as to why it's trash?
You mean aside from the fact that I've read it and it's highly questionable?
Okay.
Okay, I'll give you an example.
No,
A
yeah, I'm
lot
just
of
asking
people
for it.
say, oh, okay, never mind then.
Yeah, no, I'm just curious. Um, but like you do, like the creator of this of what we're living in. Do you believe there's a creator? Or there's no creator.
Um, I do, but not in the aspect that most people think. Like I was saying earlier, my philosophy is that the only true gods are the living men and women. Because if
Hmm.
you stop and think about it, everything around us, with the exception of nature, we created it. And I
By your,
personally believe that the meaning of life is creation, nothing more, nothing less.
you look at it like as our minds working and how we view the world. That's what we're creating. And if that wasn't possible, then this world would not be created. Right.
In a sense.
Like the optics of our eyes is what's creating this earth.
Um, I'm not really sure if I'm understanding your explanation.
Mm. Right. Nah, I'm just curious on it.
Well, here's my take on it. Pretty much, I'm not saying that the whole entire thing is trash. Um, Very interesting you made that assertion, but I would say is there is some good stuff in it. I believe, like shit
Hmm
for instance, diet, bro. Like I used to eat a lot of pork and red meat and all that shit. Since
I'm
I
cooking
cut
for
that stuff out
yeah,
of my diet, bro, I feel a lot better, man. It's just diet is one of the main things I would say. So that's pretty much where I'm at with that particular thing. And then, just some other components too that make good sense to me. Now, does everything make sense? No, not everything makes sense in it, obviously. But I mean, I don't remember when the last time I've read a book where every single thing, was 100% adaptable to me. So,
Right.
but
Mm.
yeah, hey, to each his own though. You
Yeah,
read
yeah, for
something, you
sure.
felt one way about it. I read something, I felt a different way about it. So it's
To
light.
me, to me, it's all about learning from other people's point of views and try to grasp the knowledge that they have and put it to the best use in your life. Yeah, see how it can work
Mm.
in your life. Like, yeah.
Yes, sir.
But
So we've been on for 2 hours, man. I'm gonna go ahead and start wrapping this up because I need to get something to grub on. I'm gonna head to bed.
yeah, for
So
sure.
let's go ahead and drop these finishing statements. Yosef, you got something you want to add, man?
Um, I don't know.
We'll come back to you, man. Alejandro, what you
Yeah.
got, man?
Yeah, nah, man. I wanna thank God for being here, man, and being able to talk to you guys, because I know for sure there's something is fact that you guys um have more reasoning than the people that I come in contact on a daily basis. So for me personally, I want to thank God for that. And yeah, man, and that's it, man. Honestly, heck yeah.
All right, cool, cool, cool. All right, and my man Knowledge World just rolled up in here. Shout out to my man Knowledge World. Knowledge World Media. Go subscribe to my man right there as soon as you can.
That's what you
Up on his
mentioned, right?
YouTube page. Yeah, that's my man right there. Go subscribe to my man. That guy's always got some good stuff. Holla at my man right there. Of course, go shout my man Finest Thing Walking. If you can, sign to his channel, subscribe, drop a comment in his videos, hit him with some likes also, and support the American National Consulate. Also, we are making moves big time. So if you want to be a part of that, go
Oh
ahead and
yeah.
jump on it.
What is that? Can you give me a quick or what is that?
Yeah, so foreign nationals, state citizens and such, and people who've already made an attempt to basically change their status, we're
Right.
pretty much just coming together and unifying. That way, instead of getting kicked around, and treated like shit, like we don't have any rights, we're pretty much created a consulate where we can, basically stand on our own square as a union, as a nation, pretty much. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So that's what the
Mhm.
American National Consulate is all about. We're all about peace. We're all about having our own rights, and we're all about basically happiness and just intermingling with each other, being there for each other when we need each other. If you out
Okay.
of town and you need a brother, you might have somebody from American National Nation that might be in the town to help you, show you around and stuff like that, show you where you can stay at and stuff, make sure everything's good, copacetic. You fall
Okay.
down on hard times, you can turn to your American Nation. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. That's what we're
Mhm.
about. So if you're interested in that, you need to holler at my man's A Knowledge World. Drop that number in the comment section and reach out to Knowledge World, and he can get you all set up.
Okay.
Um, and we can basically move from there. And but I wanted to add on a great conversation, man. It's always good to have different points of view. You can't have a conversation if everybody's in 100% agreement. There needs to be some pretty much differences of opinion to be discussed in order for anybody to learn or for any good points to be displayed. And I think we've done that tonight. Shout out to Jimmy Bennett. Shout out to Gabe Nelson, working hard. My man Cub Blood dropped some information. Everybody's involved in the conversation, of course. Very great combo. Um, Yosef, you got anything you want to add?
Honestly, I'm just glad to be a part of the conversation. I'll just say that
Cool.
because
That'll work.
it is a bit of a relief being able to talk to people that know, like, that have just like a different method of thinking, that don't just go along with, like, you know the community standard. That makes sense.
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, I get it, man, 100%. And we're all on the same page because we all got to deal with people who don't really exactly have the unplugging system on from the Matrix in their setup. So it is what it is. But with that said, hit up my man Knowledge World for the American National Consulate 1833 American and jump aboard, man. And
Hey.
let's move forward.
Hey.
So it is a foreign national born natural 86 grind time. Thank you for stopping past and thank you for checking out. And we will sign out. Well, I'll let y'all later on this week. Meantime, get some rest and peace out. One.